It is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. First of all, can we get to the good stuff? You told me that Nick Punto finally got back to you.
He did. Let me get the tech stuff. Yeah. And for people that didn't listen to yesterday's episode, I said, there's some guys, big names in that lineup struggling, and Nick Punto's
with the Padres.
What did I say?
No, just people don't know where Nick Punto.
Sure, Nick Punto coaching the Padres. Some of the big names struggling in that lineup: Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, and Nick Punto's known for like naked BP, getting guys going. Loves to have his shirt off, just like you, Chris Rose. He sent me the ha on top of the text. I said, "You getting these guys in the cage for naked BP soon? They need it." And then he says, "Fans have access to watching us like zoo animals. There's no privacy in the cages." And he gave me a sad face emoji. So I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon, unfortunately.
Oh, for God's sakes. Well, that's disappointing. Or if the Padres really want to turn it into a business venture.
Oh, yeah.
Charge extra and say for mature audiences only this tour.
Tatis could earn some money. I'll say that.
Well played. Well played. Tell Nicky Punto hi for me, by the way. All right, we got so much stuff to get to. I don't even know where to start. How about this with the tip of the cap? And this is a great one. Boston took care of Kansas City in Kansas City last night. But how about getting ready for the first pitch? This is Sox third base coach Chad Epperson. And who's there to greet him? That is his son, Drew, who actually works in the Royals scouting department. They put him in uni, let him exchange lineup cards with the old man. Brought a tear to my eye, dude.
I mean, I agree. You and I are both suckers for stuff like this. I throw batting practice to Teddy and I start tearing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. This is awesome. We've seen stuff like this happen with like Dusty Baker. This happened with. It's so fun. You grow up following dad's footsteps, having success of your own at the big league level. This is awesome.
Yeah, but this is totally different, right? Because this is scouting department. Those guys aren't in uni, and they're not delivering the lineup card ever. So the Royals made it a point. Awesome. Well done. All right, we're going to start off with Packing the Park, where we look at players and storylines that are getting fans into stadiums. It's brought to you by SeatGeek, and nothing has helped them pack the stadium in St. Louis than tarps off. So we have tarps off and winning on.
JJ takes off, swing and a drive, deep left field. That's going to do it in a big way. 3-run walk-off homer.
Like I said, they bring so much energy out here. They come to the clubhouse. I try to join them with the top off. It was pretty fun, and I love doing this. I'm so excited, man. Sorry, I'm just excited. A lot of things going on.
It's great. It was beautiful.
First walk-off home run.
First walk-off.
First home run in a minute, man. I'm just so happy.
Mr. Herrera, that is awesome. It's the first time I've ever heard him talk. He shoots to the top of my power rankings just for being a fun dude. I'm just so happy.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That's so transparent right there. Like, he's telling you exactly how he feels, and there's just nothing. He's not trying to be too cool with it. He's not trying to be like professional. It's just like, this is what I'm feeling, baby. And it's just so good. And what a moment for them. This series is awesome. I think it's kind of like a litmus test series for both of these teams. Like, hey, like, you're up and coming, we're up and coming. Who's better? And right now, I guess it's the naked guys that are really turning.
They're
this
not
series.
Fully naked. Let's not say that Nick Punto's coaching them or anything. They are shirtless out there. The Stephen F. Austin club baseball team, who I think finished runner-up in their little club baseball championship over the weekend in St. Louis. They decided to stay until Tuesday. They were out there. They moved him to behind the fence in right field. I think Gorman hit a ball right out there, and they had a beautiful shot of the camera panned up to them afterward. It's just created an amazing sense of community out there.
But this is it's not just them anymore. Like, that's a lot of tarps off.
Right.
Like, they're an inspiration, not only, as we're probably going to get to, I'm assuming, not only in St. Louis, but kind of around the league. We've talked about a little bit, but yeah, that's it's a lot of fun right there. And to get the walk-off homer.
It's great. They had the kid, kind of like one of the ringleaders, the Miles Michaelis lookalike. out there throwing out the first pitch with his shirt off. And this is great by the Cardinals. It's great for baseball. You mentioned it was all over the place. We've seen it. We saw it in Seattle last night. We've seen it in Detroit. We've seen it in Anaheim. We've seen it in Tampa Bay. I guess they started to do it at Yankee Stadium, and maybe there are some people who were booing them because that's not what we do here. But I think the big point here is a couple of things. Number one, I saw some people on social media saying, don't they all know in the baseball world this has already run its course in college football? I don't give a shit. Who cares? People are having fun. It's bringing people to the ballpark. It's bringing a sense of community. There's a togetherness. There's a let's all pull on the same rope. Let's have fun. Those are kids from Stephen F. Austin. I don't know how many of them were Cardinals fans or even could name Cardinals before this road trip. But guess what? They might be fans for life because of the way that the organization has embraced them and the joy that they've brought to the organization as well. So let's just make sure that we understand this is all about fun. It's not about who started what. Oh, by the way, college football dude out there, the NFL had a playoff system long before you did. So you can return the playoff system. Go back to your cute little bowl system if you want to be territorial about stuff.
Who are you yelling at? Do you
I'm yelling at these people who are trying to piss on our parade here. Don't do it.
I mean, look, hot take here. I hate college football now. I don't watch it anymore. Too many transfers. I don't know who's on the team. I'm happy guys are making money. I've lost my interest in it, and I know I'm on an island there. That's fine. Cardinals, by the way, I believe, what are they, 5-0 against the Pirates so far this season?
I think so. They just started a 12-game run against division opponents. So it's kind of going to get us to our next question, which is that the Cardinals and the Cubs and the Pirates and the Reds are now all chasing the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yes.
That's because the Miz, I think I inspired him. I think I inspired him to get to ace level. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I said the only thing holding him back, in my opinion, from being an ace was innings. And that was it. He went 6, shutout, 8 more strikeouts, hasn't given up an extra base hit in a month, which is an incredible statistic. He actually told Murph, I ran out of gas. I can give you the 6th, but that's about it. So he only threw 74 pitches. I was like, why the hell is he coming out of the game? Come on, man. Well, he did run out of gas. That's going to happen when you're blowing 101 throughout the entire evening. So is this a 3-team race in this division, or is it more?
Ooh, I like that question. I think the Brewers are going to run away with this division, Chris.
Run away with it?
I don't know about run away, but I think they're going to win it, and they're going to win it handily. And they're a half game up right now on both the Cardinals and the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
How many more days are they going to be not in first place the rest of the season? I'll say I'm going to give them 10. I love this Brewers team. I love everything about it. No slight to the Cardinals, no slight to the Cubs and the rest of these teams in that division, but I just think they're a better overall baseball team. They know exactly what they're trying to do. I just had this discussion with Jake about the Cubs and the Brewers, and the more and more I look at these rosters, the more I'm like, this is Milwaukee's division, and I know it's been great, and it's been the best storyline so far in baseball. Still, every team 500 or better. Milwaukee's the best team.
Interesting. They're in the midst of a 9-game kind of gauntlet, if you will. They go Cubs, then they go home for the Dodgers and the Cardinals. So this is a fun week and a half.
What's happened so far against the Cubs?
I get it.
Yeah,
I know. They've owned them. I still can't figure out if I like the uniform that they're wearing with the gray pants. I'm going back and forth.
Gray's always tough. Gray's always a tough color.
Yeah, it is. It's tough to match with gray. Yeah. I do
12-4 in May.
Okay, so it's at least 2 teams if I'm answering the question.
Okay.
Brewers and Cubs. And I think the key for St. Louis is Riley O'Brien. And I know last night, because he's been so good since he's gotten over to St. Louis, and he is unquestionably their closer. But there's been a little bit of an issue. Was it in Sacramento last week where he gave up one? Might have been. And then last night he gave up the game-tying run in the 9th inning, led to Herrera's walk-off. But I think that's the part of the team I'm watching most closely with them to see whether or not they can stick in it. And
yeah,
one
I
other
mean,
thing.
we always talk about how fluid bullpen roles are,
Yes.
especially if you don't have one of these guys that's like super established, like a Aroldis Chapman. I guess Louis Varland's kind of becoming that guy as well. But yeah, I mean, those are things you look at. If you're talking about the Brewers, they got a recipe in the back end of that bullpen, and if one guy's ain't working, they have about 4 closers back.
Right, right.
So I just kind of give them a nod. The offense is better than a lot of people think, like a lot better, and we know what they could do pitching wise. To me, they are the team to beat, and I don't think there's. Cubs great overall roster. There's a lot of things to like about them, but to me, it's the Brewers.
By the way, there is an awesome question for us just dangling there to be discussed. And I know that kind of late-ish May is too early because we've got 4 months still to go. But your National League Cy Young Award race is going to shape up to be maybe historic. Miz,
Yep.
Skeens,
Yep.
Sale,
Yep.
Ohtani, Sanchez, Mason Miller, and don't forget about Chase Burns, who last night in Philadelphia. No, don't.
I know his number 185 on the season. I know.
I mean, it's going to be having a vote this year for the National League Cy Young race. Tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You could state right now in your in the comments section about how many teams are real serious contenders in the National League Central. And right now, give us your voting for the top 5 for the NL Cy Young Award. That's a great one.
I just put so much pressure on the Brewers. 10 days not in first place the rest of the season. It's crazy, but we'll see.
Hey, by the way, on Monday's show, when I took off my shirt and started waving it around the whole bit, and they put a clip out about it, I sent it to the Cardinals PR department, and I said, make sure Ollie sees this. They showed it to him. He said, make sure Rose gets his ass on a plane to St. Louis. So I guess I got to go at some point. Guess I got to go.
I'll go with you. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get there courtesy of SeatGeek and use the code BASEBALL2026. We'll get 10% off our next set of tickets at SeatGeek. Sounds good to me. I think that's perfectly fine. All right. The Guardians.
Oh, baby.
They continue their winning ways in Motown. They're still atop the American League Central as the former number 1 overall pick flexed his muscles.
That's how this works. There's a high drive to deep right field. He got this one.
Yes, he did. Go.
Goodbye. Travis Bazzana sends it out of here and puts the Guardians on top.
He is so diligent to his process. And, just because you hit the ball hard and you get out doesn't mean it was a bad at bat. And, results, we all want results. Every hitter wants results. But stick to that process of get a good pitch, hit it hard, find a way to get on base. You're going to have success.
That, of course, is manager Stephen Vogt. Dare I say that the Guardians lineup is decent in 2026?
I mean, that coming out of your mouth right there, it makes me so happy. You feel like a proud papa right now, don't you? You truly do. I mean, look, I just told you before the show, 10th in runs right now, doing it in different ways. I didn't have him 3rd in stolen bases, but they are. And what have you? Okay, so I'm going to bring back what you always say to me. And you said on this show many times, Steven Kwan can't be the second best hitter in that lineup. And now I think you might have 3 guys in front of him now.
You definitely
possibly. Do. Yeah. So yes, they are decent. You can't say any otherwise. I am very curious to see how Bazzana continues to do. League makes an adjustment. What's he going to do right now? 82 plate appearances in 19 games. The adjustments are coming, Rose, for him. So I'm curious to see if that can stick. But if even this semblance of the offense can go, if they stay 10th in runs all season long, look out, because we know they can throw the ball. I truly think that we were underrating the starting pitching that you guys have. We know the bullpen can be good too. It's all coming together right now for you. And it's every year, Chris. Maybe the offense is better this year, but they look like they're going to win the AL Central, and it's not going to be close.
Not going to be close. Wow.
Who? Give me somebody.
Yeah, well,
give me somebody who thinks going to compete with them all year long.
Detroit's
the White Sox have been fantastic, but
maybe Detroit's just going to pull the okie doke like Cleveland did last year, where you trail by 15.5 games at one point and go storming as Tarek Skubal comes out with his surgically repaired elbow.
You know, that'd be great. I just don't see it happening, Chris. I don't know.
Okay, so let's start with the good with the Cleveland Guardians, if you don't mind, for just a second. And we need a little history lesson. Take you way back to 2025. 2.25 was actually their batting average a year ago, which was the worst in baseball history since 1901 for a team that made the playoffs. The worst. They also scored the fewest runs in the American League. They also had the lowest OPS in the American League last year.
Is that all true?
And they still made the playoffs.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wait,
it's all
what?
true.
They scored the least amount of runs in the American League and won 88 games?
Yeah. Well, okay, sorry. They had the worst batting average of any team that made the playoffs. They were last year in the American League in OPS. They were last in the American League in runs scored.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's incredible. So the good news is they're only hitting 233, which isn't significantly higher than they were a year ago. But the OPS is kind of middle of the pack. They're over 700. You mentioned their top 10 in runs scored. This is all good news. Angel Martinez.
Yeah.
He just won American League Player of the Week. Here's their problem. Here's the negative side.
Okay. Are they all lefty?
They're all lefty or switch hitter. They don't have a dependable right-handed stick at all. Like David Fry has been okay. Rhys Hoskins has gotten a little bit better, but they just are lacking right-handed pop.
I was just talking about that with Jake. I'm like, they run out a lineup against a right-hander that every single person is sitting left-handed, and it's just like most other teams, I'd laugh at that and be like, that's not going to work, but the Guardians are one of those teams, and I'm like, maybe they're onto something. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing about Bazzana. I'm so close to texting Stephen Vogt and making a lineup for him and just putting Bazzana on.
I'd pump the brakes.
I would never do it. Come on. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not going to ever do that, although I'm tempted, because Bazzana's got to be hitting leadoff. He's got a wonderful eye. He understands the strike zone. 13 strikeouts, 13 walks, OPS over 800. He's got some pop. He actually hit a couple to the warning track on Monday night in Detroit, and Hosey's making fun of him. And then on Tuesday, he goes deep. But that he's got to be hitting leadoff right now. So,
okay. I'm looking at what he was hitting sixth last night.
Fifth,
yeah, hitting fifth last night. Schneeman led off. Okay.
Yeah, I know they're trying to run hot with Schneeman. Let's not do that anymore. Let Bazzana hit leadoff. I know the whole, we don't want to put too much on his plate. Shit, he was the first pick of the draft. I mean, come on. Who cares? Get him out there.
Yeah, and Australians don't feel pressure. We all know that.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, Moylan's never nervous whenever we're doing a
they just run it. They don't think.
Oh, boy.
That's what, if I know anything about Australian ball players, they don't think very much.
Yeah. And by the way, they've done a lot of this offensively, the Guardians, without a great season from Jose. He's leading the league in stolen bases, which is awesome at his age. He just went past 300 for his career. He wants to be a 400 guy.
It's insane.
Trying to get as many as he can.
He's got 20 swipes already?
I know. At his age.
Okay. I was wondering. I was thinking, like, who's stealing bases on that team? I knew Jose was part of it, but to lead the league right now, he's got 20.
Bazzana's got 7. I know that.
Yeah, he does. Wow.
Yeah. So Bazzana's got 7. Rocchio and Angel Martinez have 8 each. By the way, playoff Rocchio's turned into really good Rocchio.
Yeah. 37 walks to 29 strikeouts for Jose Ramirez. That just warms my heart, man.
He's fine. He's great. So nice to have a superstar in Cleveland. We don't get him very often. We'll take it. American League Central. Who's going to push the Guardians the most? Do you think that they've turned a corner offensively? Comment section wide open, as we like to say. All right. I don't know if many of you saw this because it was the last game to finish, I believe, out west. But there was some weirdness in Seattle. Mariners went into the game saying Bryce Miller is going to be our starting pitcher, okay? It was just his second start of the year because of injury. But now we've got 6 starters for 5 spots. We're not going to do this whole 6-starter thing. So Luis Castillo, you're going to be the piggyback guy. So they probably expected Miller to go 4 innings, 5 innings max, get as much out of Castillo and see where that takes him. Well, instead, Miller takes a no-hitter against the White Sox into the 6th, ends up working almost all the way through the 6th, went 5 2/3. Farrer had to come in, clean up an inning. Then they turn it over to Luis Castillo for the first time in his career coming out of the bullpen. 252 Major League regular season starts, and here he is, brand new role. 7th inning, strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. 8th inning, wiggles into and then out of trouble. It's a 1-0 game, and they get to the 9th. He goes walk, hit by pitch. Then he has to stay in the game, and he strikes out Montgomery. And at that point, there's 2 on, 1 out in a 1-0 game, and they're like, Munoz, come on in now. Chase Mydroth gets a big hit. Benintendi gets one off of Naylor's glove. 2-1 your final. A game the Mariners had in their grasp. They end up losing because they wanted to stick to, we're going to have piggyback dude and ride Luis Castillo instead of turning it over to our all-star closer in a 1-0 game. Did Dan Wilson, Jerry DiPoto, and the Mariners overthink this?
You threw Jerry DiPoto in here.
Oh, well, this is a group think. This is not a one-man.
No, I don't. Well, the piggyback maybe, but the decision to leave Castillo in, I don't think DiPoto is like part of that. And we talk about this a lot. When you have a pitcher that's struggling, someone just did this. Gosh, who was it we talked about that they took out early so he could like kind of like feel good about himself going into his next start? I forget who it was. Anyways, that's could have happened here. You know, you run this piggyback. Obviously, Luis Castillo has been in this league for a long time, a ton of success. Like he doesn't like want to be where he's at right now, but in this role has success. End it, dude. You like you said, you have Munoz ready. Munoz is a guy, and most relievers are like this too. Give me my clean inning. Let me have some semblance of a routine, because that's just what I do. Especially for Munoz. There's a stat here, 72 of his 75 innings has come in with none on and no out, like the clean inning, 72 of 75. So he's used to doing that. You had the opportunity to do that, and for some reason you didn't. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even think he was warming up to start the ninth inning.
And they had to rush him. They had to rush him.
If you're going to put Castillo out there, and you're trying to, hey, we don't want to use Munoz today. Let's save the bullpen as much as we can. Like, you can still get him up and start getting him ready just in case what happened. So yeah, I think again, DiPoto, I don't know if he's part of that decision, but I agree. Yes, Dan Wilson messed this up, and I think he knows it.
He messed up a bunch of things last night. First of all, this was a layup. A former catcher, out of all things, should know this. You just said it perfectly. These guys love clean innings. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to, he danced in and out of trouble in the 8th inning. I know they're going to say, well, we need to get him his work in. And this is, you might not see him till the next time, Bryce. Who gives a shit? You know what else you needed to do? Get wins. Start stacking them, because you don't have enough of them more than a quarter of the way through the year. So let's go. You have a chance to take the first 2 in a series against the little plucky White Sox. You go do it. The win is the most important thing. It's not making sure that Luis Castillo is getting his work in. That's absolutely asinine. And then I mentioned during the describing what happened here in the 9th inning, the reason Castillo had to stay in to face Colson Montgomery was because the pitching coach came out on the mound after he had hit Vargas with a pitch. Mm-hmm. Then walks back to the dugout, and before another pitch is thrown, Dan Wilson walks out to take him out. And the ump's like, bro, what are you doing, man? He has to throw to another batter. Get your butt back in the dugout.
At least the pitch. I don't know if it's
he has to throw a pitch. Yeah. Yes. He has to throw a pitch.
That's and if you're going out there because you're trying to get Munoz time to warm up, all you have to do is send the catcher out.
Well, no, he wanted to change pitchers.
I know that, but you send the catcher out first. Give some time, and then go make your move.
But regardless, he had to still throw another pitch, and Dan Wilson
No,
didn't
he
know that.
wouldn't have. If the catcher goes out and talks and gives him that time, then you
Oh,
could
you're
send
saying
to
instead of the pitching coach.
Yes.
Oh, well, I got it. Yeah, but the minute the pitching coach went out there, though, then the rule changes.
Exactly. So
How
if
does
you
he
wanted to
not
give
know
him more
that?
time, you send the third baseman, the catcher, whoever it is, you go talk
Right.
to him on the mound a little bit. Umpires will rush you to get back. And then, yes, as the manager or the pitching coach, whoever wants to take him out, usually, obviously, it's the manager, then you go do it. But yeah,
But how does that happen?
I don't know. I'm not really sure how that happened. That you shouldn't.
He did own it.
It's like a rule that you can't really forget.
He owned it afterward. He said, I screwed that up, which is good. I like it when guys take accountability. Everybody makes mistakes, but he made a couple of them last night, and he cost his team a win, a shot at a win. I don't know. You don't know how it'll ever play out when Munoz comes in with a clean inning. It's possible he could have gotten tattooed. That happens against the best of them. But he did not put his team in the best position to win last night. Do you think that this piggyback thing is going to work or not?
It's going to have to work. What else? What else do you do besides go to a 6-man? I don't know if they want to do that.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, so it's going to have to work unless you just can completely change Luis Castillo into a reliever. You don't want to do that because you want to continue to have pitching depth. This is the only solution. You're not sending any guy down. So this has to be the solution. And it can work, yeah. Obviously, it worked last night for most of the game.
All right. I guess two last things about this, and then we can move on. Number one is Castillo only going to piggyback Bryce Miller? Like, is that the one day he's going to pitch? I don't understand because I don't think he's going to be a regular reliever.
I think you can do that if you're throwing aggressive bullpens, like up-down bullpens. Like you get out there and you're throwing 15 pitches, you sit down for 6 minutes, throw another 15 pitches, and you kind of get your work in that way. That's one way to continue to have him be built up while only throwing 3 innings every 5 days, is you just got to go out there and get that work on the side. Is that sustainable for the entire season? Probably not.
No. Yeah, it feels weird that I'm sure they have discussed it quite a bit. I just don't know if they have a full grasp of what it might look like in reality because I guarantee you they went into Bryce Miller's second start thinking they'll give us 4 and then we'll run Castillo out there hopefully for 3 or 4 and figure it out from there. That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
I was also looking like maybe Munoz has given up some leads as of late. He really hasn't.
And he's barely pitched. He pitched Monday night, but he hadn't the previous time was last Wednesday.
He gave up a 5 spot that one outing against the Padres. Other than that,
right.
He's been
right
as advertised.
Yeah, and he has 1 or 2 of those a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
Mariners fans, let us know how ticked off you were with what transpired. Are you skeptical about the way they're going to use Castillo in a piggyback situation moving forward? Confidence in the Dipoto Dan Wilson decision to go this route? The whole bit. Just want to let you know.
Jerry's calling you. He's like, dude, Chris.
He might. Jerry
piggyback was my idea. Leaving him in the ninth wasn't. Munoz,
I tried to text
games.
him. He had my texts on silence notification. Wasn't working.
Did. Last 13 games for Munoz, 2.2 ERA, 12 innings pitched, only 3 earned runs.
There you go.
Sorry.
Dang. All right. On this show, we like to have a lot of fun. We like to talk a lot of baseball. And occasionally, since I'm the dad of John Boy Media, I like to give a little advice. And sometimes I need to give it to the people that are right around my age. I can't tell you the number of people that are my age or even that they're just starting a family. And I bring up the topic of life insurance because it's something I firmly believe in. And it's not always pleasant, but it's really important. You want to take care of the people that you love the most, okay? And it is so, so important. And people say, oh, no, well, it's so expensive. I can't do that. And I don't want to even think about that. Folks, this is what being an adult is all about. And it's thinking about the future. And yes, you can afford it because there's so many ways to do it. Thanks to our friends at Ethos to make it fast and completely online. You can get a quote in seconds. You can apply in minutes. You can get same-day coverage. Folks, here's the great thing. There is no medical exam. You just answer a few health questions online. Get up to $3 million in coverage designed to help protect the people who depend on you the most. So take 10 minutes to get covered today with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/baseball today. Once again, that is Ethos, ETHOS.com/baseball today. Application times may vary. Rates may vary as well. It's important stuff. Go take care of it today. All right. Let's move to the boogie down where we had something really interesting unfold. Yankees ended up winning yet again. Aaron Boone was not around to see the end of it. He had a problem with the second base umpire, Brendan Miller, and the replay system. Here we go. Volpe stealing second. It looks like he's safe. Miller calls him out. So Booney's like, "Arr!" He's like, "Give me this stuff." So they look at it. Looks like he got his left foot in before the Jimenez tag, but replay booth says, no, we're going to uphold the call. So he is out. Booney throws his gun. Oh, it was just starting, my friend. Later on in the game, Jazz Chisholm lines one to left center. Dalton Varsho, go get it. Makes the catch. Boone wants to challenge because it looks like maybe it hit the ground. No, he doesn't have a challenge left. So Boone gets tossed, and he goes out to Miller afterward, and he says, "You screwed up the call with Volpe. You cost me my challenge, and now I can't challenge that play," or something like that. Anyway, he got tossed for the 48th time in his career. Here's the Yankee skipper.
I probably overreacted to it a little bit. I just kind of snapped on it a little bit because I felt like there were two calls, and then when you can't challenge because you feel like one's already been missed, I didn't control myself very well.
Plouffe, do you know who Brendan Miller is?
I do know where you're going with this.
He was the man behind the plate the day that Booney did the effing savages. We're effing savages. And so some people connected dots last night and said, that umpire was embarrassed that day. John Boy did an entire breakdown on it and still holds a grudge against the Yankees manager because of it. Are you the conspiracy theorist as well?
No, absolutely not. No, I don't think the umpire has a bias. I mean, maybe he does, but he's not making calls to hurt the Yankees. I do not believe that whatsoever. I do think that Boone might hold a grudge against the guy, or at least think he stinks as an umpire. And that is the truth. I mean, I've been in many dugouts where or pregame meetings, guys, we got so-and-so behind the plate, get ready to swing the bat. Or this guy stinks. We're in it for a long one, whatever it is. There are certain umpires that certain teams just do not like. And shoot, maybe there is an inherent bias. Or I think there could have been back in the day an inherent bias that umpires could show towards a team or a manager. It's too much under a microscope now. I don't think they can do that.
Yeah. So did you ever have a discussion that this guy's got it out for us?
Sure. Absolutely.
Really?
I tried my best to be buddies with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, because I play third base. So at the game right after they're behind home plate, they go to third base. And so I got to be there all game with them. So I'm I can't be blowing this guy out next day. I got to make friends with him, whatever. And also you don't want to be on the wrong side of umpires. So be nice to them. I always tell my youth kids, I'm just be nice to these umpires. They'll take care of you. But yeah, definitely guys who are you didn't feel like they had it out for you, but you just knew they were not good umpires.
For people that forgot the whole savages in the box, Danny.
Get out, Aaron!
Rick Carter's so good.
Well, for those of you that are audio only, I know that was kind of hard, but thanks for putting up with it because it was well worth it if you're on the YouTube side of things.
So good.
It's great. Yeah. By the way, no. Umpires, referees don't have it out for your team. They might be bad at their job. There are some that are horrible, just like there's terrible podcasters. There's terrible everything in the world. They don't have it out for your team. And I love the people who really try to put him under the microscope. Did you know that this guy grew up in so-and-so and probably grew up a fan of this team? So he's definitely against us. Come on. Stop. Once again, I'm all for you saying umpires, referees, bad at their job. Oh, my God. Cool.
I think baseball's officials are probably the least biased of any sport. I don't think they're allowed to be biased. There's just too much review. They don't have enough power in their hands, especially anymore with the ABS, the challenge system, where like other sports, like a referee in basketball can massively impact the game, calling fouls or no fouls. Whatever they're called in football, I think there's referees, line judges, all these different things. Like throwing a PI can change the game.
Yep, you're right.
In one play. In baseball, it doesn't really happen that way, especially with a challenge system.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There's no question.
Holding. Oh, I start going to NFL referees. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude! Like the power that these guys have in that game is crazy.
Yep, you're right. I don't know, but I would love to hear from you. Do you buy what we're saying, that we don't think that there's bias for the most part in these, or at all? Yeah, I think that I've talked to plenty of umpires, and I've talked to plenty of managers as well when they are combative with umpires. And they say the next day we'll walk out and exchange lineup cards as though nothing happened. We're both professionals. You don't believe that one, do you?
No, it's true. It's a really funny part of baseball.
Okay. But you can have something in the comments section. Let us know if you think we're nuts. Please. Appreciate it. I'm feeling a little nutty today for what happened to my calves last night. I'm shocked I even showed up for work, to be honest with you. All right, we still got a lot more fun stuff to go on this, more from Tuesday night, if you will. But first, this word from my buddy.
Baseball is here, people. The days are getting longer. The sun is back out, and baseball season is finally upon us. Baseball is a game of inches. The result of a game hinges on 1,000 little moments, and momentum can shift quickly. That's why we decided to team up with Fanatics Markets, the trusted home for real-time sports prediction markets. It's simple. Just pick a game and choose an outcome, like which team will win, which player will hit a home run, and more. It's time to get involved in the action. Then buy contracts based on what you will think will happen. Yes, if you think it will. No, if you don't. You can buy as many as you want, sell if the price moves in your favor, or let them settle when the event ends. So from opening day to the Fall Classic, no matter who you root for, Fanatics Markets is right there with you. Join the Baseball Today family on Fanatics Markets. Event contracts carry risk of total loss and changing prices. Not good for all investors. Not available in all states. Must be 21 plus. See important disclosures in Fanatics Markets app. Customers are introduced to Crypto.com by Paragon Global Markets, LLC, DBA Fanatics Markets IB, and introducing broker registered with the CFTC and a member of the NFA.
Thank you, Trevor. Much appreciated. Okay, let's start our whip around the major leagues in D.C., where this series has already been bonkers, right? Monday night, the Mets scored 10 runs in extra innings to win. And then on Tuesday, this happened.
Out to left center. This ball is rocked. Into the gap and off the top of the wall. Two outfielders look at themselves and don't find the baseball. Here comes James Wood, rounding third and heading home. Out inside the park, grand slam for James Wood.
Yeah, first one since Raimel Tapia did it a few years ago for the Blue Jays.
Nice name there.
Yeah, it was good. By the way, the Nats lead the show in runs scored. Are they all of a sudden a fun watch?
They've been a fun watch all season. This is kind of like, I believe it was before last year, we were talking about this team, and we said, I think, exactly that. Like, they can be a fun watch. They got some guys there. You're going to want to tune into this team. Didn't really happen last year. It is now. And they could have easily won that game that the Mets scored 10 runs in extra innings. I believe in their half of the 10th, the first extra inning, they had bases loaded, 1 out. And they could have won that game. And then all of a sudden, the Mets take over and do it. But they're a fun watch. Clearly, the offense is going. James Wood has turned into an absolute superstar. I'm curious to see how far they can go. The National League is very, very good this year. And I hope we're still talking about the Nationals and how how close they are to a playoff spot come July. Like, I really want to. Because that fan base has been kind of starved for a good team for quite some time.
So they are absolutely a fun watch for multiple reasons. They score, but damn, do they give up a ton of runs too. So I feel like I'm watching the Jameis Winston of baseball. Your team's never out of it, and their team's never out of it.
He's throwing those picks up there.
My God, it's incredible. They are on pace to be the first team since the 2008 Rangers to lead the league in runs scored and runs allowed. And let's not forget this aspect. They suck at defense.
Yes.
They stink. Far and away, they have the most errors and most unearned runs allowed this year. Butera, their rookie manager, who's young enough to be one of my kids, had him out on the field for like 3 hours working on fielding drills within the last 2 weeks. Like, guys, we have got to get better. And then that night they made a couple more errors. They are just a total shit show in the best way possible. It is so much fun.
It reminds me of like a D-backs Rockies game where you just never know what's going to happen with them. For sure.
God, it's fun. Good for them. At least they're not going to make the playoffs. In my opinion, they're not going to be close to the playoffs, but man, you've got some entertainment. So if you got a few extra shekels this summer, you want to go watch an exciting team that's never out of it and no lead is safe, watch the Washington Nationals.
Hey, they're hacking behind the Pirates. You wouldn't say that about the Pirates right now.
Wait a second. That should be their marketing ploy. Come watch the Nationals, where we're never out of a game and no lead is safe. Kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks. They were down to their last out. And then this.
Second, Walshman at first. Marte, a fly ball. Guess what? The Diamondbacks win it.
They sure did, Steve Berthiaume. And if you listen to the Giants broadcast of Kuiper and Kruko, you would have heard nothing. They said nothing. They were in such shock when this happened. Tony Vitello, latest guest on Dugout Discussions, please go listen, said afterward, I'm the one that screwed this up. I brought him in. I brought Gage in to turn Marte around. Did Vitello screw this up?
I think Marte just gets his first walk-off homer for him. I don't know. I mean, pick your poison. You know, with Marte, Diamondbacks finally over 500 again. Like this is a team where I'm not so sure what to make of them because they can have a potent offense. And I feel like I look at the starting pitch, I'm like, okay, like there's a recipe there. But I think that's where they're a little deficient. I want to root for the Snakes. Did Vitello mess this up? Not really. Not in my opinion.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so. They had dodged inning after inning, trouble after trouble. So are you going to pat him on the back for all those moves he made there and the fact that they got double play grounders and stuff like that? Look, Marte for years, he's been a great hitter from both sides, but he was actually 100 points higher OPS-wise from the right side coming into this season. But this year, he'd only been a 600 OPS guy from that side, about 650 from the left side, had all of his homers from the left side prior to this. Tony, I don't think you messed up. Gage, who's actually been really good for them, left one down and in.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got, I mean, I like what he's doing. He's taking the blame there. That's what a manager's supposed to do. But we can come out here and say, no, it's okay. You didn't.
Also in that game, Corbin Carroll, did you see this? Legging out a triple. And this is one of my favorite things to do is watch Corbin Carroll run when there's a ball hit in the alley. He loses his helmet around first base. You don't think anything of it, but when the relay throw hits him, wow, right in the back of the coconut, his third base coach is like, get up and run. Ball bounced away. He's like, dude, that thing just hit me in the back of the, oh my God.
I mean, that's at least a 70-mile-an-hour ball coming at you right there. Look at it. Oh,
I gotta be
gosh,
honest.
it got him, man.
He's lucky, I think, where it hit him.
Yeah, back of the head. He's been so freaking good. for this team. And you know who else has been like, I don't know if it's sneaky good. I think it's sneaky good because we don't really talk about him a lot. Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, he has been.
Yeah, baby.
I think he was inspired by being the debut guest this year on Dugout Discussion.
I think so too. Yeah, that's what he's been telling everybody. That
yeah, I'd
changed everything.
I think that's probably accurate.
Ildemaro Vargas still with a 902 OPS. I'm just saying.
That's awesome. That's great. Good news, bad news for the first place Braves. They won in Miami yesterday. They got Ronald Acuna back. You know, he'd been dealing, I think, with a bad hammy. But they lost catcher Drake Baldwin on the injured list with a strained oblique. What's the bigger headline grabber among those two?
I think currently it's losing Drake Baldwin because they're also out Sean Murphy, and Drake Baldwin has just been so good. So now we're seeing what has been a massive strength for them, that offense from the catching spot really become a void. Getting Acuna back is obviously a great storyline headline for them, but he hasn't exactly lit the world on fire so far. Like, it's been pretty much all the other Braves have been doing all the damage. So to me, it's the Drake Baldwin.
Yeah, I don't actually think it's close, which is hard to say when you're talking about a talent like Acuna, but you're just kind of saying, yeah, great, he's back. But Baldwin, number one among catchers in homers, second in OPS, and now you're left with a combination right now of Sandy Leon and Chadwick Trump, who has fewer than 200 major league at-bats to his name. It's not exactly perfect. They do have a huge cushion still in the National League East, and the grade 1 oblique strain, they say, is the least intrusive and should be back hopefully soon. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Finally, did you see the great fantasy football punishment for this one fan sitting in Kansas City by himself, right fieldish? I stink at fantasy football, wearing a bright red coat so everybody can see him.
That's why you stink, bro. You're just too tired. You got to be able to wake up at that when the waiver wire passes and get all those free agents. You got to play the game, man.
How good is this punishment?
I mean, it's all right. I don't know. I'm not a huge fantasy football punishment guy. I am in a league where if you have the worst record, you have to put on a bunny suit, and we go to where Lovey's is in Calabasas.
Yeah,
we go to Lovey's and make the guy do that. But I don't know. I've seen worse. That one's not that bad. You get to go to a big league baseball game. Oh,
yeah, it's cute. It's cute. That's kind of what it is. It's
my
not a bad
favorite ones, Chris, are the guys that you have to go to a fast food joint and eat your way out of it. I love that.
Those are stupid. You have to go to IHOP and eat pancakes. They did a whole marketing campaign based on it.
That's a true punishment, though.
It is a punishment, but it's really gross where people have to go throw up and you knock time off by eating a pancake. At first, I loved it, and now everybody does it. So, but they did get a marketing campaign out of it, which was cool, with Malik Neighbors. I thought that was funny. The kids saying, yeah, you stunk after week 5 or whatever. It was funny. It's good. You know what? In the comments section, let us know what a good punishment is that you've either had in your league or one that you've heard of. Share them, because maybe we'll read some of them on the air. I think that's fun stuff. All right. Everybody's back at work on Wednesday. We'll be talking about it the next day as well. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.